A jewelry store called me. Your order is ready for pickup. My heart raced. He never bought me jewelry. I played along. Can you confirm the name on the purchase? When they said a name that wasn't mine, I smiled. Perfect. I'll pick it up myself. That evening, I met the woman at the store, handed her the receipt, and said, "You won't be paying for this anymore." The credit card was declined moments later. I was cooking dinner when my phone rang. I wiped my hands on my jeans and grabbed it without thinking. "Hello, this is Gabriel's Jewelers. Just calling to let you know your order is ready for pickup." I almost laughed. Nathan never bought me jewelry. In 10 years of marriage, not once. Not for anniversaries, not for birthdays, not even as an apology after a fight. Jewelry wasn't practical, he'd say. What's the point? You don't even wear much of it. So why was a jeweler calling me about an order I never placed? I forced my voice to stay light. "Oh. Which order is this?" The woman on the phone sounded cheerful. "It's a gold bracelet, custom engraving. Ordered under Nathan Parker." My stomach tightened. Nathan Parker. My husband. I leaned against the counter and took a slow breath. Right. And, can you confirm the name on the pickup? A pause. Then, a name that wasn't mine. Not even close. My grip on the phone tightened, but my voice didn't waver. Perfect, I said. I'll pick it up myself. She confirmed the store hours. I thanked her and hung up. Then I stood in the middle of my kitchen, staring at the stove, the pan sizzling, the smell of garlic filling the room. Everything normal. Except it wasn't. Nathan was cheating. And I had just caught him. I wasn't angry. Not yet. Not even sad. It was something colder, heavier, like my body hadn't processed it yet. I turned the stove off, set my phone on the counter, and pressed both hands against my temples. Think. I didn't need more proof. This was enough. The order was real. The engraving was real. The name on the pickup? Real. Still, I wanted to see it for myself. So I made a plan. That night, Nathan came home from work like nothing had changed. He kissed my cheek, kicked off his shoes, and sat down at the table. I put dinner in front of him. He thanked me. He talked about his day. I watched him eat. I looked at his hands. His wedding ring. The same hands that had apparently signed for a bracelet for another woman. He didn't notice I was quieter than usual. Maybe because I wasn't acting any different. At one point, I set my fork down and smiled. Hey, I have a hair appointment tomorrow. Can I use your credit card? I want to get a deep conditioning treatment. Nathan didn't even blink. Yeah, of course. He pulled his wallet out and handed me the card. Like he trusted me. I took it. Thanks, babe. Then I reached across the table and squeezed his hand. He squeezed mine back. The way he looked at me? If I hadn't known better, I would have thought he loved me. But I did know better now. And he had no idea what was coming. The next day, I got ready and left the house early. I drove downtown, parked near the jewelry store, and just sat in my car for a few minutes. Was I really about to do this? Yes. I was. I walked into Gabriel's Jewelers and approached the counter. A young woman with bright eyes and a polite smile greeted me. Here for a pickup? Yeah, I said, sliding my phone out. Order for Nathan Parker. She typed on the computer, then beamed at me. Oh, great. 1 second. She turned around, and that's when I saw her. Another woman, standing at the counter, waiting. She was dressed well. Younger than me. Mid-20s, maybe. Perfect nails, sleek dark hair, an expensive-looking bag slung over her shoulder. She was the kind of woman a married man risks everything for. My heart pounded. She was here for the same reason I was. The clerk returned with the jewelry box in hand, then paused, looking between us. Her smile faded. Oh. She hesitated. I think there's been a mix-up. The woman frowned. I'm here for my bracelet. My boyfriend ordered it. I let out a small breath. Boyfriend. I turned to her. That's funny, I said. Because my husband ordered it. Her expression cracked. She stared at me. What? I gestured to the box. Let's check, shall we? The clerk, now visibly uncomfortable, slowly opened the lid. Inside was a delicate gold bracelet, engraved with the words "Forever Yours." And I let out a soft laugh. Wow. He's a real poet, isn't he? The woman's mouth opened, but no words came out. I turned to the clerk. I won't be needing this anymore. And then, smiling sweetly, I added, Please charge the card on file. The woman next to me inhaled sharply. You wouldn't? The clerk hesitated. Sure. She swiped Nathan's credit card. Declined? I grinned. Oops. My mistake. The woman turned to me, her face pale. What did you do? I leaned in slightly. I cancelled his card before I walked in. Her jaw dropped. The clerk shifted awkwardly. So, should I put this bracelet back? I looked at the bracelet. The one meant for her. The one my husband paid for. And then, with slow, deliberate ease, I reached forward and dropped it into the trash can. You're welcome to dig it out, I said lightly. The woman gasped. The clerk's eyes went wide. And I walked out the door. I walked out of that jewelry store feeling light. Almost free. I wasn't crying. I wasn't shaking. I wasn't second-guessing myself. I had just thrown away the bracelet my husband bought for another woman, cancelled his credit card, and left her standing there like an idiot. It should have felt like enough. But it didn't. Not yet. I sat in my car, gripping the steering wheel, staring at my reflection in the rearview mirror. What now? I could go home. Wait for Nathan to figure out his card was dead. Wait for him to come to me, all confused and frustrated, acting like nothing was wrong. But I didn't feel like waiting. I wanted to watch it all burn. So I pulled out my phone and did something I'd never done before. I opened Find My iPhone. Nathan had shared his location with me a year ago when he lost his phone in the gym locker room. He forgot to turn it off after I helped him find it. I never had a reason to check before. But today? I tapped his name. A map loaded. A blinking blue dot appeared, showing his exact location. Not at work. Not even close. He was at a hotel. A nice one. The kind with a rooftop bar and plush white robes. I let out a short breath. He wasn't even trying to hide it. So, what was I supposed to do? Go there? Cause a scene? Catch him in bed with her? No. Too predictable. I needed something better. I grinned. Time to have some fun. I drove to the hotel. Parked right out front. Didn't even bother to pay the meter. Inside, I walked straight to the front desk. The woman behind the counter gave me a polite, tired smile. Hi, I said, all warm and friendly. I'm trying to surprise my husband. He's staying here under the name Nathan Parker. She glanced at her computer. I'm sorry, we can't give out. Oh no, of course not. I waved a hand. I totally get it. Privacy and all that. I leaned in, dropping my voice to a conspiratorial whisper. But between us girls, can you at least tell me if he's checked in? She hesitated. Then, just barely, she nodded. I smiled. Perfect. Then I pulled Nathan's credit card out of my purse. The one I cancelled. Can you charge his room for me? Her fingers hovered over the keyboard. Would you like to add a charge for everything? I smiled sweetly. Room service. Spa treatments. Champagne. Whatever you've got. I want to spoil him. She blinked. All of it? All of it. She hesitated, then swiped the card. Declined. I gasped dramatically. Oh no! I clutched my chest. That's so strange. Maybe he forgot to tell the bank he was traveling? The woman behind the desk gave a knowing smile. It happens all the time. I sighed. Well, no problem. I'll just go up and let him know. And before she could stop me, I walked straight to the elevators. The numbers on the elevator panel ticked up. My heart thumped in my chest. I didn't know what I was walking into. A half-naked Nathan? The woman from the jewelry store? Someone worse? I didn't care. When I reached his floor, I walked right up to his door and knocked. Silence. Then footsteps. The door cracked open just an inch. Nathan's face appeared. His eyes flicked over me, his brows drawing together. What are you? I shoved the door open. It swung inward, and I stepped inside. And that's when I saw her. Not the woman from the jewelry store. Someone else. A different woman. Dark red hair. Older. Dressed in nothing but a silk robe. Not the woman he bought the bracelet for. Another one. A third. And that's when it hit me. Nathan wasn't just cheating. Nathan wasn't just lying. Nathan had a whole second life. And I had just walked straight into it. Nathan froze. The red-haired woman pulled her robe tighter around herself. Who the hell is this? She asked, her voice sharp. I turned to Nathan, tilting my head. Yeah, Nathan. Who the hell am I? His mouth opened and closed. No sound came out. Good. The woman scoffed. Wait, don't tell me this is. She turned back to me, eyes narrowing. His wife? I smiled. Ding ding ding. You win. Her face twisted. You said you were divorced? Oh. I almost laughed. Did he now? She turned on him. Are you serious? You told me you were divorced, Nathan. What the hell? Nathan's lips parted, but I wasn't interested in his excuses. I walked over to the bedside table, picking up a half-empty champagne bottle and a room service bill. Wow. $200 for a bottle of Moat? Classy. I held up the receipt. Too bad your card got declined at the front desk. His jaw clenched. You canceled my card? Sure did, I said, dropping the paper onto the table. Oh, and your little bracelet? I grinned. It's in the trash. Right where it belongs. The red-haired woman let out a bitter laugh. Oh my God! You bought a bracelet for someone else? Nathan flinched. Melissa. Melissa. So that was her name. I turned to her, feigning curiosity. How long have you two been, whatever this is? She folded her arms, glaring at Nathan. 8 months. I let out a slow breath. 8 months. The woman from the jewelry store had no idea about me. But Melissa did. Because Nathan had told her I didn't exist. He wasn't just cheating. He had fully erased me. Melissa let out a bitter laugh. God, I feel so ****ing stupid. I thought we were exclusive. I blinked. Wait. You thought you were exclusive? She scoffed. Yeah. Why? I pointed at the nightstand. A phone sat there, screen still lit. A text message was open. From someone else. Not me. Not Melissa. A fourth woman. Melissa saw it too. She lunged for the phone before Nathan could grab it. Her face twisted as she read the messages. Explicit. Begging. Promises. She turned to him, voice rising. How many women, Nathan? He was silent. I stepped back, exhaling. This was bigger than I thought. Nathan didn't have a mistress. He had several. And now, at least one of them knew the truth. Melissa threw the phone at him. I quit my job for you, Nathan. Her voice cracked. You told me we were moving in together. You. She choked on her words, shaking her head. I blinked. She quit her job? What the hell had Nathan told her? My stomach churned. I wasn't sure if it was pity or disgust. Melissa grabbed her purse, yanking it over her shoulder. I am so done with you. She spat. Then she turned to me. Sorry, I didn't know. I shrugged. Not your fault. She stormed out, slamming the door behind her. Nathan stood there, breathing hard, fists clenched. He looked at me. Like I was the problem. Like this was my fault. And suddenly it all clicked. He wasn't going to apologize. He wasn't going to beg. Nathan wasn't ashamed. He was angry. Angry that I caught him. Angry that I ruined his little fantasy life. He exhaled sharply. You could have handled this privately. I stared at him. Handled what? He threw his hands up. You didn't have to cancel my card, or show up here, or, are you serious? I let out a sharp laugh. Nathan, you have a harem. You've been lying to all of us. And you're mad at me? His eyes darkened. You're acting crazy. There it was. The classic line. Crazy. Emotional. Overreacting. Like I was the problem. I laughed again. You know what? You're right. I am crazy. Then I picked up his phone. And I started dialing. His eyes widened. Who are you calling? I grinned. Everyone. His other women. One by one. Nathan lunged for his phone, but I was faster. I lifted it above my head like a goddamn trophy, scrolling through his messages. Names. Numbers. Secrets. So many women. Some had saved names, others were just numbers. But the messages? All the same. Lies. Promises. Sweet nothings. I tapped the first name I saw and hit call. Nathan's face drained of color. Don't. I smiled. And then, right before the call connected, I turned on speaker. A woman's voice answered. Not Melissa. Not the woman from the jewelry store. Hey, babe. She cooed. You miss me already? Nathan's jaw tightened. I tilted my head, watching him squirm. Oh, he misses you, I said sweetly. In fact, he's missing a lot of you right now. Silence. Then. Who is this? Nathan lunged again. I stepped back. I'm his wife. Silence. Then the woman laughed. Not a giggle. Not a nervous chuckle. A full, bitter laugh. Well, she said. That's funny. I frowned. Why? Because I'm his fiancée. The room spun. Nathan froze. Everything stopped. I heard my own heartbeat thudding in my ears. You're what? She sighed. Yeah. Engaged. Thought he was single. Guess not. I stared at Nathan. His face was blank. Like he had nothing left to say. Because what could he say? I was his wife. Melissa had been his girlfriend. The woman at the jewelry store was his side piece. And this one? He was going to marry her. I let out a slow breath. I'm so sorry. The woman on the phone exhaled. Not your fault. Not like you knew. She went quiet for a second. Then, where is he right now? I smiled. Oh, he's right here. Want to talk to him? I shoved the phone against his chest. Explain, ***. Nathan just stood there. Silent. Frozen. Caught. Nothing to say? I taunted. What out of lies? The woman on the phone sighed. Yeah, that's what I thought. Listen, thanks for the heads up. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go pawn this engagement ring. Nathan flinched. She hung up. I grinned. Well, that was fun. Nathan snapped. You just had to ruin everything, didn't you? His voice wasn't guilty. It wasn't sorry. It was angry. I laughed. Ruined what? He threw his hands up. I had it under control. I blinked. Under control? You had a wife, a girlfriend, a fiancé, and a side piece. Yeah, and none of you knew, he shot back. Until you went digging. I stared at him. I had never hated anyone more in my life. Melissa had been heartbroken. The fiancé had been furious. But Nathan? Nathan was just mad he got caught. Something in me snapped. I smiled. Sweet. Soft. Dangerous. Then I lifted his phone one more time. His face strained. Who are you calling now? I met his eyes. And I whispered, Your mother. His entire body stiffened. You wouldn't. I pressed call. Nathan's mom picked up immediately. Sweetie. This is a surprise. What's going on? I grinned. Hi, Judith. I said warmly. I just thought you should know that your son is a lying, cheating, manipulative piece of garbage, and I'll be filing for divorce. Also, he's currently in a hotel room, in his boxers, standing next to a champagne bottle he bought for a woman who isn't me. Silence. Then, Nathaniel Parker. Wahoo. Full name. Nathan squeezed his eyes shut. Mom, don't. Are you serious right now? Her voice rose. I raised you better than this. He ran a hand down his face. Mom, I'm calling your father. Right now. Nathan's eyes went wide. No, Mom, don't. Click. She was gone. I bit my lip. Welp. Looks like Daddy's about to find out, too. Nathan grabbed his suitcase. I'm leaving. I stepped aside. Good. I tell you to pack your things, but don't worry, I'll do that for you. And I'll set them on fire. He stormed past me. Right as he reached the door, I called after him. Oh, Nathan? He stopped. I smiled. Check your email. He frowned. Why? I winked. Just a little something I sent to your entire office. He whipped around. You didn't. I wiggled my fingers. But bye. Then I slammed the door. By the time I got home, Nathan had called 14 times. I blocked him. Melissa texted me. If you ever want to grab a drink, let me know. We can burn his **** together. I replied. Oh, absolutely. His fiancée messaged me, too. You're a real one. Thanks for the heads up. Hope you take him for everything in the divorce. And I did. By the time the papers were finalized, Nathan had lost the house, half his savings, and his reputation at work. Oh. And his mom? Stopped speaking to him. I won't lie. It hurt. Finding out that my husband had erased me from his life? That he had multiple women, each thinking they were the only one? It was devastating. But in the end, I came out on top. And Nathan? Nathan came out alone.